David Piccini, you've been doing this several times, cleaning up. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I have. I mean, this is such a worthwhile activity for our environment. First and foremost, I mean, it's gross, the stuff we pick up here along the highway. People litter consistently on these off and on ramps, and I think on a more personal note, we're incredibly proud of this sacrifice of members of our forces, and I mean, we know it very well with Michelle and her family. Of course, we lost Michelle in Afghanistan, and I think this is a remarkable way to actively commemorate and honor the sacrifice made. We've dubbed this stretch the Highway of Heroes, so in honor of their legacy and their sacrifice, we keep it clean and we protect our environment as they have protected our country.
We're all sorts
Would you like a picture, or do you want to?
We actually just came back from Latvia. We have vehicles as
For sure, yes. And sometimes it's nice to do small things too, right?
Yeah.
But this is amazing. I mean, I can't believe
Nice to meet you, ma'am. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And this is the Minister of Environment,
How are you?
David Piccini.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you, sir.
Very nice to meet you as well. Thanks for coming to our community.
Oh,
This is fantastic.
we like it here, yeah. So we have
Drive up from Kingston.
well, we did. But our organization, our postal unit, the only postal unit in the entire armed forces, is in Trenton as part of our formation. So we have troops posted in the Trenton obviously. So yeah. 6 years ago, next month, I adopted the highway portion of the Highway of Heroes. You'll see the sign when we get around the corner in memory of Diane's daughter, Major Michelle Knight Mendez, who was the 118th soldier to be carried home from Afghanistan. And it goes without saying that Michelle was a very bright light, and she's deeply missed. And Pete Fisher was there. He's a photojournalist in this area. He wrote the book, The Highway of Heroes. And Pete's been with us since the very beginning, photojournaling our adoption here that extended to the entire Highway of Heroes. That starts in Trenton and goes all the way to Keele Street in Toronto. So it's 172 kilometers east and 172 kilometers west. And the Minister of Environment, David Piccini, is here. And I met David at the Cenotaph gathering when it was 10 years later, right? 10 years after Michelle was carried home, they put Michelle's name on the Cenotaph in Grafton. And so David's been very much a part of the Highway of Heroes before he was Minister of Environment. And I thank David for your time, for coming out today. And he has scrolls of appreciation to thank you guys for coming out and participating in the 2022 Fall Clean of the Highway of Heroes, and to remember Michelle, to remember her life, to participate in her legacy. For an act of remembrance becomes really important to remember the 158 fallen soldiers from the Afghanistan war. And when you walk away from today, I hope you take Michelle in your heart and your mind, and you talk about her, and you remember the fallen, and remember what the sacrifices our Canadian Forces members and have made. And I know that you guys are all making sacrifices for serving our country as well. And the thing that happened with me was I wasn't paying attention to the service or sacrifices of our Canadian Armed Forces members before Michelle came home. And when I knew better, I started doing better. And I thank you very much for your service to our country and for coming out today. And Diane, did you want to say anything?
I just would like to personally thank each and every one of you for coming out today. It means so much to me, and thank you for your service.
Thanks. And Mike Rood is here. He came down from Waterloo, and he's going to travel with us to Trenton. And Mike served in the Canadian Armed Forces, and he's a strong advocate in the veteran community, and he goes coast to coast helping out veterans, military members, and he has a service dog, Spark, with us today too. And I'll just pass it over to Minister of Environment, David Piccini, to say a few words.
Well, thanks, Carrie. Well, I just wanted to thank you as a local member here, growing up in our community. I think back vividly growing up in Port Hope, And when the whole town would shut down, and the community would come out to the bridges and the overpass to pay respect for the fallen who made the ultimate sacrifice. And that's really been etched sort of in my upbringing and experience from rural Ontario and on this sacred stretch of highway. As Carrie mentioned, I was honored to come out a number of years back for the incredible work that she's doing. When you lose someone like Michelle in a small community like ours, it really hits everybody in our community. And so as a friend and her mother, and to join forces with all different walks of life to clean, I can think of no better way, not just because the environment minister now, but active commemoration in honoring the sacred stretch, keeping it clean, and really touched to see now, as you were mentioning, Colonel, each on and off ramp now named after one of our fallen. So take a look at the signs, and let's keep them in our minds and in our hearts, because we have to do more as a community to honor all of you and to know what it is that you do to keep us safe and to protect our country. I think that's incredibly important, and I'm just very grateful for your service and for taking time out of your day to come and participate. I know this means a lot to our community, and I'm very grateful to have you here. So Colonel Chief, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Do you want to read it out?
So I just, one of the cool things we get to do as members, we get an official seal. And you only have so many, and sort of it's to acknowledge excellence in our community. So as our local member, it means a great deal for me, Premier Ford, and our government that you've taken time to do this. So this is just a small token that we can do as local member to acknowledge excellence in our community and those who have an impact and touch our community. So thank you for being here, and this is a small token of my thanks as a local member.
Forgive me on this. Can I get this title and spelling of your first and last name?
Sure. Colonel Heather Morrison, Heather Morrison.
And you're head of?
The Canadian Forces Joint Operational Support Group.
What do they do in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, we are the We are the theater level enablers for joint operations for the Canadian Armed Forces. And we cover communications support, logistics, postal services, and specialist engineering.
Tell me about today's event, your thoughts on it.
So this is a hugely important event for the formation. We're a group of serving members. Many people in my organization have done deployments, and so there's a very close connection with people that have gone before us. So we are celebrating our 10th anniversary as a formation, and we really, really wanted to do an act of remembrance for those that have gone before us, and we thought this was the most fitting way to kick off our 10th anniversary week.
Nice to meet Diane Knight, the mother. Just I don't know whether you've met her before or not, but I mean,
No,
it's
the first time.
it's you can tell the pride that she has and things like that. It's just it's a nice day. If you can just talk a little bit about
Sure.
sort of meeting her and that.
So I've just met Diane, and she's a phenomenal person, and I am very impressed that the Highway of Heroes is being looked after in such a way, and that there is a huge involvement from the community. Interestingly, with Diane, I had just spoken to her. Her daughter Michelle and I went to school together. So I didn't know her particularly well, but she was a first year at the Royal Military College when I was a fourth year, and we lived in the same hallway. So there's a personal connection for me in coming out here this morning.
That's good.
Thank you, everyone. Just check your garbage here. Maintenance, Miller Maintenance comes and picks it up. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. That was awesome. That's good because I'm going to work. Thank you. Good. Does anybody want to give me their forever? Yeah, I do.
All right, back to the vehicle.
So I'm going to hand these over first. So Diane. Thank you for. It was a huge honor for us to be here this morning.
And an honor for me to have you all here. Thank you.
So on behalf of all of us, and this is just a small representation of the formation, and I should say that there were people that really, really wanted to come out this morning. We had a list, and we had to, we couldn't get as many as we wanted out.
Unbelievable.
There was a huge, and I have to thank Jerica right here, and Carrie, who really instigated this.
Yes.
And without them, we wouldn't be standing here. And I feel the sun is shining, and
Michelle's shining down on us right
I
now.
think so.
Absolutely.
So on behalf of all of us,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you, each and every one of you. Carrie is like my third daughter, and I can't ever thank her for everything that she has done in Michelle's remembrance, and just to bring everyone together for this. Awesome. Thank you.
We have a little something else, just a little token of our appreciation because it is our 10th anniversary of the formation. This is a coin, and just so that
It's beautiful. And
we'd
every
like
time I
you to
look
have
at,
this.
that, I will think of each and every one of you. It is beautiful, and yeah, I'm not very good at speeches. Now Michelle, on the other hand, was very good. Let me tell you. So I'm going to tell you one quick little story about Michelle. She went on Rotary Exchange for a year to Brazil, and she had just turned 17 when she went, and she couldn't speak a word of Portuguese. So I was sure she'd come home. Within a month, I thought she'd be so homesick that she was going to come home. And then after we went down, after she'd been there for 6 months, they let us go down to visit her. I thought, she's got her own maid. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to. She's never coming home, I don't think. And when she came home, Rotary in Coburg flew her first class to, where did she go? California. And she spoke in front of 1,500 people, and I thought, is that really my daughter? Wow. So, thank you guys. Thank you so much. my heart is ready to pound out of my stomach, out of my chest right now. So I couldn't ever have a better day than today.
Thank you. So, whether you wear a uniform or not, wherever you come from in the country, when people come together to put other people before themselves and to serve others, I think you actually embody that. And so we are quite appreciative of allowing us to come up today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate everybody coming. And first and foremost, just paying our respects to Diane. You know, when one member of the family serves, everybody serves, and certainly Diane bringing her out and meeting military members, veterans like Mike, and first responders and civilians to let her know that Michelle's memory will never be diluted with the passage of time. Thank you, guys.
I have one more request. If anybody knows me at all, I'm a hugger. I would love to hug each and every one of you. I don't know whether you do that. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, so much. I'm such a thank. Oh, I love it. You know, we couldn't do it for 2 years, right? So we're way overdue, right? Thanks so much. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Oh.